guys, welcome to the video. We are back in Ireland. As you can probably see and recognize from the background, it's raining outside. I have a jacket on, but we are here to do the half marathon. So we're one day out and I'm sitting in my mother's 04 Toyota Corolla. Not quite the Ferrari Lamborghini lifestyle of Dubai, but we have a Sentra oat milk cappuccino, underrated actually, to be honest. And we have a ton of carbs here. We're less than 24 hours out now, and yeah, life is good. Hopefully it can stop raining, and please don't be raining tomorrow. But yeah, enjoy the video and we will take you through the whole process. So we're currently on day 3 of my carb load. I'm about 1100 grams of carbs into my carb load, and if you watched my last video on the full day of eating, you probably even noticed my demeanor, everything, my energy is a lot better. We had we had a little situation at the airport yesterday, or on Thursday. We were coming back. If you've ever dieted very hard, you might know this. We planned out our food, right, and we actually prepped it. So we brought 2 meals to the airport, fully on track. You know, it was feeling good. Your one wouldn't let us through with a meal. She said it was liquid when it was not liquid, it was solid. And she, instead of giving it back to us and letting us like go out and eat it, she just threw it in the bin in front of our faces. I was in half a shock, honestly. I was, and you know, when you're a bit depleted, a bit more food focused, Eve put a lot of effort into making this like overnight Weetabix. It was unbelievable. And yeah, straight into the bin. But the silver lining, we ended up having to get obviously different carbs. Picked up Snack Jack's golden caramel rice cakes. Unreal. They're a new addition to the carb load. So not all bad. We picked up something good from it. So our goals for the half marathon this year, we have about 10 to 15 clients that's going to be either doing the 10k or the half tomorrow, so it's going to be really good to see all of them. But it's our third time doing the Limerick Marathon and my third half marathon altogether. My goal is 1 hour 45 or underneath it. So the first marathon I ran was like 1:55. Second last year I did 1:49. The goal was to break 1:50. Then I said I'd set 1:45 as a target this year. Gonna be challenging, definitely, even from the runs leading up to it. Yeah, definitely going to be a challenge, but that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? I think if I can perform like I did this day last year, last year was probably my best like run. It actually was. I hit a 5k and a 10k PB at the end, the last 10k of last year's half marathon, and it was the first time I ever got a runner's high in like, I think I started running about 3 years ago. Didn't think it existed, but it actually does. So if I can repeat that, I'll be flying it. But the weather was also perfect the last 2 years. It was actually really warm, raining, bit of wind. I don't know. I train in the heat, so I prefer the heat. But yeah, that's my goal. Eve's goal is to break 1:55. She did 1:59 last year. I think she might even want 1:50, but 1:55 we're gonna say. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully it all goes to plan. Prep, everything has actually been smooth, to be honest. So does cardio kill your gains, or does it affect muscle growth? This has been like a long-standing debate in the fitness industry for as long as I can remember. Even me personally, I would have went through a point maybe 10 to 15 years ago where I actually stopped doing cardio. I didn't do any cardio because I thought it would affect me building muscle. So quick background, I come from like sporting background, was always like skinny, found it hard to put on weight and gain muscle. Would have been more of that skinny fat type of person. So when I started to get into the gym real seriously, it kind of, I think what makes this a lot more believable is when you hear it, you think like a marathon runner. You look at the way a marathon runner looks, bodybuilder. You look at a bodybuilder like, okay, that makes sense. Don't do cardio if you want to look like the bodybuilder. But again, they're just two extremes, and it's funny because I stopped doing cardio then because I thought again it would affect me, and I would actually say it hampered my progress. I even got to the stage because I started to gain weight, but actually gaining probably more body fat than muscle. And I got to a point, I remember in training, where I stopped doing anything like over even 8 reps because I was getting fatigued. That's how unfit I was getting. I changed my program. When I look back now, I'm like, changed my program down to like really low reps because I actually wasn't able to cardiovascularly keep up with it. Should have been a sign, but you live and you learn. So the funny thing is, I actually believe now, and I think it's becoming more known. Even if you look at the bodybuilding world, a lot more bodybuilders. The reason why I use two extremes here, we're all in the middle, but I think you can always use the extremes as examples to pull from. Even bodybuilders are doing cardio year round now because of the benefits it has on their long-term health, their longevity. And when you actually look at it, something I've even experienced is, especially when I started doing more running and cardio consistently, it actually can help you build muscle because it improves your recovery, and you recover faster between sets and between workouts. And when you recover faster, it actually gives you more ability to handle more volume. And we know volume is a big driver of muscle growth. So if you can do more total work and recover from it, you're going to give your body more opportunities to build muscle. So that's a big one that you don't really, until you experience it, you don't really realize it, you know. And then just the improved fitness, your body's more efficient in general. Like having better health markers, being more cardiovascular fit, it's all round, not only for health, but again, health and performance and body composition are all linked together. I think sometimes people look at like body composition, health, performance. They're all going to mesh into each other when you're taking the right approach. And you can actually, more the fitter you are, the more work capacity you have. So even in sets, you're less likely to fatigue. You can do more reps. You can recover faster, and it has such a positive knock-on effect. And I think even from a body composition point of view, I think it's easier generally to stay leaner the more fitter you are. You'll have improved insulin sensitivity, improved nutrient partitioning, and just even anecdotally for myself, the more I keep my cardio in check, the easier it is for me to maintain long term. Because I suppose even your body gets more efficient with if when you are taking on more calories, when you have a certain amount of fitness and muscle mass as well. So yeah, I think everybody can benefit from doing cardio, even if your main goal is trying to build muscle. The biggest thing is there is an interference effect. So look at it like this, and this is why extremes. The danger is always in the dose, right? If you're training for a marathon and you're doing super long runs and a lot of mileage, it's gonna be basically impossible to build muscle, right? Because your body is so busy trying to recover from all this that it just doesn't have the tools, the building blocks, the nutrients. We're really just focusing there. But for most people, you're not marathon, ultra marathon training all year round. You're just doing a couple of 5K, 10K, even a half marathon, that type of thing. So the danger is in the dose, and that's really important. But there is an interference effect. There comes a certain point. But also, what you have to consider with this, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong as well, is training volume and intensity matters as well. Because I just see a lot of people, if you're doing too much volume, especially with like cardio, and if it's too intense, you're affecting your recovery, which then will affect your ability to build muscle, but also usually train hard in the gym as well. Because then if your gym training starts to get affected, you're not fully recovering, you're not putting the stimulus on the body that's required. And then the other big thing, which kind of ties off that, is your recovery and fueling. A lot of people, they basically overtrain. They do too much training, not enough recovery, and they don't fuel that. So then they get caught where that's where you start to run the risk of, again, burning through muscle, and not inherently because you're doing too much cardio. It's actually because you're not recovering and fueling appropriately for the amount of training you're doing. So that's where you need to be really careful. And it's when you're combining goals, especially if you have muscle building and cardiovascular, like if you're doing high rocks or half marathons and that, becomes a lot more important how you program, how you recover. If you're just trying to build muscle, it's honestly very simple and you're not doing much cardio. If you're just trying to run and you don't care about muscle, which you shouldn't do that anyway, but it's a lot easier. When you're combining them, you have to be smarter with how you program, with how you structure your training, with taking deload weeks, with monitoring your intensity, monitoring your volume, and also monitoring how you're recovering, because again, all these things can be individual. Some people can take a huge amount of training load and they're fine, others can't. So that's where the skill of the whole process comes in. But overall, for most people, a couple of cardio sessions a week, a couple of lifting sessions, you're absolutely, it's the combination is the best for overall health, performance, and longevity. If do that. Good morning. It is the morning of the half. We are all ready to go. So, plan. We literally just watched the marathon. Where we're staying is on the road where the actual marathon is on, so we actually can watch it out the window. Literally the best viewing point of the marathon, and it's right where it starts. But we are getting our first meal. Well, actually our only meal, really. Set up. We have 2 bagels, banana, honey, salt, probably 130, 140 carbs, I think. And that is around 2.5 hours before the marathon. Took my beet shot as well. And that is all we need to do. I'll get an electrolyte too, actually. But yeah, that is the plan. Now we just got to run for as fast as we can. So carb load wise, we actually went heavier than the Hyrox, just because I'm a few pounds lighter and I'm also a little bit more depleted being into the tail end of the diet. What was it? Around 1,700 carbs over 3 days. My weight jumped up a little bit the first day. It hasn't moved in the last 2 days. But I am on different scales. I've been traveling and stuff as well, so not fully accurate, but I definitely know I need them. I feel much better today, even compared to yesterday. So it should work a treat, hopefully, with the PB. Something I've been thinking about though is, so goal I set myself at the start of the year was to complete Hyrox, half marathon PB, photo shoot. There are my physical goals. Getting to the best shape I've ever been in. Hot. And honestly, when I put it together, I was like, whoa, this is a lot. But now, having the Hyrox done, the half now, today, hopefully it goes well, and then the shoot, I'm practically ready. I'm where I need to be. It's just kind of, I think the biggest thing, there's a concept I talk about in MC Future Fitness of being 8 weeks out. So basically always being 8 weeks away from whatever you need, whether that's dieting for a photo shoot or getting lean for a holiday, doing a half marathon, doing a Hyrox, doing like a strength competition. So always staying within 8 weeks out. And like, in order to do that, basically you need a foundation of habits, routines, and lifestyle that will allow you to do it, which keeps a certain level of strength, fitness, and body composition all year round. And that's really stood to me this year, because I started from a leaner set point than I've ever started. I was already fit. I was running kind of 10Ks before the half, so the half prep wasn't as severe. And then Hyrox was new to me, but because I had the fitness and strength base, I was actually okay. So that's why, like, I actually thought at the start of the year, I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do this. But one, I've actually put more effort. It's kind of challenged me more. But two is because of that 8 weeks out concept, and they've all kind of played into each other, it's actually worked out better. Me saying that now, but that's where, well, I'm in line for a PB and a best shape ever with photo shoot. So, yeah, it's really just interesting that, and like I suppose, keeping closer, keeping that baseline better, has allowed me to do that. Because if I had double the amount of weight to lose, or I was starting running or fitness from a low level. I just wouldn't be able to do all that. So it just, and like the hard part about that nearly isn't doing this. It's building up your baseline level of habits and routines, lifestyle, conditioning, fitness, strength, that when you don't have these goals, you still operate at a high standard for yourself. And even for me, that's just got better and better over the years. And it's allowed me to get to the point where I'm at, you know. And for a lot of people, that's the hard thing. They can push for a goal, but when they don't have any, that's where they kind of slip off or slip back to old habits. And that's why I like the 8 weeks out concept, is like you keep that baseline all the time. And then if you want to chase a goal, you're able just to put the foot on the accelerator for those few weeks. And even now, me, once I get the photo shoot done, I'll be pulling right back. Actually looking forward to it and really just focusing more on, quote, balance, and less on the physical side of things. I'm just going to maintain, but less talking, more eating carbs. So a few days have passed and we are actually back in Spain, and you can probably tell by my voice, I'm still a bit run down, sick / allergies, something going on since the half marathon. Probably a sign that I did push myself a lot during the race, which is good considering I did get a PB, which I'm really, really happy about. Came in at 1 hour, 45 minutes and 3 seconds. Part of me wants to have broken the 145, which obviously I definitely could. The race was really tough, but the whole day was unbelievable. The atmosphere, if you've ever been to like runs and things like that, it was my third time doing it. The whole day it's just such a buzz. And obviously we had a lot of clients as well there, so it's great to see them and catch up. But yeah, another PB for me. It's my third time doing it. So I actually first was 155, then 149, and now 145. For someone who doesn't run, still doesn't really like running, we will take it. Nearly 10 minutes off, over 10 minutes off since my first one. So that is good. The race went to plan, but it was quite difficult until it didn't go to plan. So I was running good times, around 5-minute Ks. The plan was to do that for like 16 kilometers and then really push the last 5. That all went well. Last 5, I just couldn't push. And the last 3, my hamstrings were about 80% cramped. So it was like, I was in pain, basically. Compared to the year before I was literally in like flow state, runner's high, best run I've done. So considering I still got a 4-minute PB, and yeah, we will take it. But yeah, great day, and great to see a lot of our clients. Dan smashed like an 8-minute PB. We had guys doing their first ever half marathon, which was unreal to see, and so many other people smashing PBs. So it was a great day all around, and thanks a million for everyone for tuning in to the video. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. We have a few different videos. We're having basically coming out every week. Our photo shoot is soon, so I'll be making a couple of videos on that. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we will see you all in the next one.